Okay, we're in the Greek Empire, so-called white man's empire, and we're going to Second Maccabees in the Apocrypha, the 6th chapter, verse 1 down. It says, "Now long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers." See, over and over again, they want us to not follow the laws of the Most High. And not to live after the laws of the Most High, see? And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter, Olympius, and that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place, man. This is what the Greeks did. This their history, his story that they don't tell you about, that happened before Mashiach Shai came on the earth in the flesh. Calling our temple after their idols. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, to the true righteous people of the 12 tribes of Israel. For the temple was filled with riot. Listen to this. Our temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, by these other nations, who dallied with harlots. These are prostitutes. And had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places, selling their bodies as prostitutes in the temple. And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. Remember, they sacrificed swine's flesh and all unclean beasts on the altar. The altar also was filled with profane things. You know, any profane person has Esau. This is what they did. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbidden. So, what's right in the law, they're going to do opposite of it. This is their lineage. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts. These are the feasts of the Most High. Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. That's why you see, when you go open the New Testament, you see to the Jew and to the Gentile, to the Jew and to the Greek, because they were Greek-speaking Jews. You see, that followed the customs of the Edomites. Remember, they went to the king and got a license to be like them, do as the heathen. So it was against the law to even call yourself an Israelite. Listen at this for birthdays, y'all. And in the days of the king's birth, his birthday, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. You know, it's abominable food. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy. Moreover, they went out of decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions in honoring birthdays, his birthday, and be partakers of their sacrifices. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles, y'all following the manners of the Gentiles, and celebrating birthdays and all that. Ain't no more, Most High ain't honored in this, should be put to death. Hear that? So you wonder why you're so fervent about what you do and following. If you ain't follow this wicked sucker's birthday, and the matters of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery. But there were two women, listen to this, there were two women brought who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly led around about the city, that's the law that they were following. It was against the law. to circumcise your children. They had openly led around the city, and babes hanging at their breasts, their babies hanging on their breasts, tied to their breasts now, they cast them down headlong from the wall. And others, not only them, but others that had run together into caves nearby. Why? To keep the Sabbath day secretly? They went into caves to keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered to Philip, were all burnt together. They burned them all up because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day. You hear that? All you that take the Sabbath lightly, it's the most sacred day. It's the Most High's holy day. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for the chastities of our nation. But it is a token of his great goodness, when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. For not as with other nations, whom the Most High patiently forbeareth to punish. That's why I say they have not met the judgment seat of the Most High, till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with them, us. Lest that, being come to the height of sin, afterwards he should take vengeance of us. And therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us. And though he punish with adversity, yet does he never forsake his people. But let this, that we are spoken, be for a warning unto us. And now will we come to the declaring of the matter in few words. And now it's going to go talking about Eleazar, an elderly man that was persuaded, trying to be persuaded to eat swine, eat pork. And he refused to eat pork. And they said, well, we're going to give you some, I'll just tell you the story so we don't have to read it. We're going to give you something that you can eat, like lamb. And it'll look like the pork. He said, no, I lived this long, and I'm going to go out, and people going to think I went out eating some swine or some abomination, and I've never done it before. No, he wouldn't do it. Then the next chapter, 2 Maccabees 7th chapter, a mother and her 7 sons were tortured by the so-called white man. Tortured to death for not eating anything that's abominable. She watched all 7 of her sons die. You can read it.
One was even scalped. One was even scalped.
Yeah, scalp. All that. You know, so these are examples that we have. Let us know how powerful our people were in keeping the Most High's laws. For somebody to tell you that we not under them. She watched all 7 of her sons die. I don't even want to read it. Y'all can read it yourself. And you wonder why the judgment is coming like it's going to come. That's why he said, go to Lamentations 4:22. And they know. If I can open up the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, it tells you concerning the last rulership of this earth, the superpower of the earth, what's going to happen with them. This is what the Most High said, Lamentations 4:22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, O 12 tribes of Israel. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. We're not going into captivity no more. This is it. That's why it behooves you to really come back and try and change your life to please the Most High and doing what he say do, his rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments, people. They say we ain't going to captivity no more, therefore we going to captivity no more. You either going to live or you going to die. Ain't no going to captivity because you did something wrong, no. It's going to be the judgment. If your name not written in the book of life, you're going to be cast in the lake of fire. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, O 12 tribes of Israel. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. What is he going to do? He will visit thine iniquity. He going to visit your wickedness. Who? O daughter of Edom. Remember, 2 Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world. He's going to visit the iniquity, O daughter of Edom, like we just read about. That's what we just read about in Maccabees, the Greek Empire. He will discover thy sin. He will discover your sins. Okay? As it's written. You read in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary concerning Edom. I haven't read it so much I know it by heart. It says Edom figures prominent in the prophetic scriptures as a scene of great future judgments. It says she is the only neighbor of the Israelites who is not giving any promise of mercy from the Most High, and gives scripture to back it up. Isaiah 34, 5 and 6. Right? And Isaiah 63, 3rd chapter, you can read from verse 1 down. Say he's the only neighbor of the Israelites who is not giving any promise of mercy from the Most High. So you think it's not important to keep the Most High's laws, you better think again, y'all. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 17 and Ecclesiastes 17, and let's start at verse 10 in the Apocrypha. And the elect, which are the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, shall praise his holy name. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance. So he gave us the elect. He gave us knowledge and the law of life. Because a lot of you think that it's just the law of sin and death. He said the law of life for heritage. So we follow the laws, we're going to have everlasting life. That's what we've been going over. It haven't deviated. He made an everlasting covenant, an everlasting contract or agreement with them and showed them his judgments. See? Their eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and their ears heard his glorious voice. And he said unto them, beware of all unrighteousness. Beware of all unrighteousness. That means beware of everything that's against the Most High's laws, statute, commandments. And he gave every man commandment concerning his neighbor. The ways are ever before him. Everything we do is ever before him, because his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding even the secret parts, things that we do. Their ways, are ever before him, and shall not be hid from his eyes. Every man from his youth is given to evil. Neither could they make to themselves fleshly hearts for stony, because we are rebellious. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Most High's portion. See, we the Most High's portion. He didn't choose everyone. Say, Israel is the Most High's portion. Whom being his firstborn, he nourished with discipline. That's his laws. And giving him the light of his love, does not forsake him. The light of his love is his laws, statutes, commandments. That's the love of the Most High. Look at verse 15. Their ways are ever before him, and shall not be hid from his eyes. So everything we do is ever before the Most High, and shall not be hid from his eyes. Go to Ecclesiasticus 15 and verse 1. Ecclesiasticus 15:1. He said, he that feareth the Most High will do good. And we know to do good is defined in Romans 7:12. The law is good. And he that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her. Jump down to verse 11. Say not thou, it is through the Most High that I fell away. Don't blame the Most High because you fell away. For thou oughtest not to do the things that he hateth. See, people go into abominable things and they fall away. But don't blame it on the Most High, because you're doing the things that he hated. You stop doing his laws, statutes, commandments. That's what he's saying. Say not thou, he have caused me to err, for he have no need of the sinful man. See? He got time to be dealing with you. He trying to deal with us being righteous. He have no need of the sinful man. The Most High hateth all abomination. That's why you better learn what's right. In his eyes, he hateth all abomination. And they that fear the Most High loveth it not. See? You fear the Most High, you don't love no abomination. Verse 19. And his eyes are upon them that fear him. And he know of every work of man. He know everything that we do. I just keep the work. Well, I told you at the beginning, he's keeping his laws, statutes and commandments. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given any man license to sin. Well, you know, license to sin, you know what we did. Remember what we did? Have you forgotten what we did? When we went to the king, we asked the king what? First Maccabees in the Greek Empire, is what we said. Verse 13, 1 and 13. Then certain other people, or the Israelites, were so forward herein that they went to the king, this wicked king Antiochus, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. See? What did it say? Ecclesiastes 15:20, he hath commanded no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given any man a license to sin. So they went to the heathen. Say, oh yeah, you could do it. We got your back. You can't. So we couldn't do nothing to him. See that? Ecclesiasticus 11:15. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Most High. I'll read you again. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Most High. Love and the way of good works are from him. What's this love? Love and good works. What's this love? 2 John 6. Second John, verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. You're not going to get away from it. But this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment that, as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it. We're going to go into some of the laws, but I just want to make sure that you understand how important it is. How important it is, y'all. So, Ecclesiastes 11:16. Error and darkness, which is ignorance, not knowing, had their beginning together with sinners. You see that? Error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners, those that broke the laws of the Most High. And evil shall wax old with them that glory therein. Evil you're going to draw evil to you. And the Most High told you in Amos 9 and 10, all the sinners of my people going to die by the sword. He going to kill you. A lot of y'all trying to say, oh, the Most High, he loved the sinner, but he hate the sin. Okay, go over next chapter, Ecclesiasticus 12, and let's see if he do. And verse 6. Let's see what they tell you up in these secular churches is right or wrong. They took it out of the Bible, so here it is right here. The answer to that, Ecclesiastes 12 and 6. For the Most High hateth sinners. Don't believe what they're telling you. For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the unrighteous, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. You hear that? For the Most High hate the sinners, and the sin, and the sinners. Thus say the Most High. So you can't really look at it any other way. So Ecclesiasticus, the 4th chapter, and verse 25. Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, and verse 25. It said, in no wise speak against the truth. And we know what the truth is. Everybody that's been in classes, y'all know this by heart. Psalms 119, 142, let's sing it together. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Listen, in no wise speak against the truth. In no wise speak against the laws of the Most High that he wrote, that he came up with. But be abased of the error of thine ignorance. See that? Most High calling you ignorant, darkness, not knowing. He let you know. Look at verse 28. Strive for the truth. Strive for the laws of the Most High. Unto death, it says. Like you said, I didn't go into it, but I told you about, we know Eleazar, the old man, I told you about him, and the mother and her 7 sons that this wicked Antiochus Epiphanes tortured and killed. It says, strive for the truth unto death, and the Most High shall fight for thee. You hear that? Strive for the truth unto death, and the Most High gonna fight for us. That's why it's important for us to keep his laws, statutes, commandments. Else you ain't got no fight from the Most High. The heathen know this. They know this, y'all. Remember we read in Ezekiel 39 and 23? The heathen know we went to captivity for our iniquity. Give you a case scenario.